So can a $700 awning stack up against a $1,500 one? Let's find out. Oh, It's pretty hot at the moment, and I'm in direct sun, so good time to be filming this for you guys. It's right in the middle of the day. So what I'm going to do, let me grab some stuff. I'll show you what comes with this one. Let's get it out so we can get in the shade. So first of all, it's an OPENROAD 270-degree awning. And basically this is the strap that holds it back. So you only have one end that has to be strapped back, not the front. So it doesn't go as far forward as what my old one did. So that had a little bit more coverage, so I'll give it that. But I also specifically didn't want it for this one. It was to reduce weight and also complexity, because the other one was just fiddly and annoying. So you get two of these, two tie downs, and you get pegs, which have never been used. Comes in a nice little bag. There's another bag as well that comes with the controller and also the cabling for the lights, which I'll go through with you shortly. Like I said, it's hot, so let's get this thing open. Now, how quick and simple is that? This is one of the things I absolutely love about this awning over the other one. Done. Why did I go for a cheaper awning? Why did I replace an expensive awning with a cheaper awning? Well, basically it wasn't planned. I was actually doing a review on the Bushwhacker, and as I was doing the review, I was just finding all of these things that had happened in the 12 months that we'd had it. And we'd literally used it a handful of times, and it probably was 5 times. We just didn't use it very much. And there was a combination of reasons for that, and I'll talk about that throughout this video. But I'll just cover off what I actually found and one of the reasons why I decided to get rid of it, and ultimately why I went for a cheaper unit. So first thing was, I put it out. I was doing, like I said, I was doing the video, and I'll pop some video over the top of this. I won't actually do the review that I did, because the reason is I actually got quite angry because of a lot of money to be spent and having issues again. So let's start off at the very start. When we first bought it, we bought it at the Brisbane show on a special. And it actually, I think at the time we got it about $1,600. I think they're down about $1,500 now. So they're actually come down a bit more. So we got it, we thought it was a good deal. We bought it because we thought it was a good quality brand. And literally the first time we set it up, and I had issues initially with when you'd set it up, basically the actual fabric was never taut, so it would always have a sag, particularly in the front section. So it was a 270 plus, so it had the front section as well. The big issue was apart from that, was that the very first time I went to use the lights, so they had a rocker switches here, and first time I used them, one failed straight away. Okay, it's annoying, but it is what it is. Spoke to Bushwhacker, and they sorted parts for me. Unfortunately, I had to do it. They wouldn't do it. So that's another issue. But anyway, I had to do it. So no issue. I've done plenty of 12-volt stuff before. Replace the switch, no worries. And I probably used it maybe once or maybe twice more after that. That's it. So, and basically get it out for the review, and bang. And the other switch failed straight away. Box thing. You've got to be kidding. So you just saw that happen live. So this is the second time this has happened. Literally have used these lights. This is the 3rd time I've used these lights. The previous time I didn't even get to use it. It was straight out of the box. This switch was stuffed. So let me bring you in. So this switch basically failed. And this was basically for the orange lights. So now, that now won't work, and that is literally about the 3rd time I've bloody used it. So it's super disappointing. So this one works fine, as it has from new. That's the replacement one, and it's stuffed again. So what's supposed to happen is that's orange, that's white. But as you can see, we've only got white. I had orange for 2 seconds. Super disappointing. Look at that. Doesn't matter how much I push that, it will not work, whereas that, unbelievable. What junk. So straight away I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what the hell? So straight away we've done that. Fair enough, it is what it is. It's another switch. I'll get onto Bushwhacker and get another one. I'm assuming they'd cover it. Then I had a look, and as I was standing, actually very similar to the way I'm standing now, I looked forward, and on the leading edge of the actual fabric, you see a hole straight through it. And I'm going, what the hell? It was a rub mark. It had rubbed straight through. Then I started to go, okay, let's look at the awning in general. So I started to look at the awning. And in this section here, so the equivalent of here, but at the back, another hole. You could almost get my little finger through it. So there goes any waterproofing. You know, it's for an awning that got used very, very few times. Yeah, and hence why I didn't put out the review. I just was very disappointed in the product. So removed the product, and I was initially going to go no awning. But with the rooftop tent, we thought we're going to be doing this sort of thing, you know, camping up, particularly solo trips, so an awning would be an advantage. So I wanted to reduce weight, and honestly, I didn't want to spend money. Like the amount of money I'd already wasted on that awning, I was reluctant to go and spend a lot of money. So I started looking around, and I came across OPENROAD. Reviews I had saw on them were all very good, but most of the reviews were install videos and everything like that, no long-term reviews. Anyway, contacted OPENROAD, had a word with them, and ended up getting this one out here. So this is a 270, standard 270. In hindsight, I should have probably got the one with the hatch, but it wasn't available at the time, so that would have been good to be able to go in the back to the tent, but I just go around from the driver's side, so not a major issue. That's the main reason why I swapped over. So what we'll do now, let's go through and we'll talk about this awning, and we'll do a comparison on how it compares to the Bushwhacker as well. All right, so let's talk about one of the things that was important to me. So one of the reasons I didn't use the Bushwhacker as much was basically the thing was not good in wind. So with the materials never ever been particularly taut, this would, like for the front section used to hang down. I mean, I can't even get this to sit down as much, but it would hang down like it was drooping. It used to pick the wind up. The wind would pick it up and it would just smack it. It was constantly rocking against the car really hard. So I had zero confidence. The only way I'd have it out in even the slightest breeze is I'd put the legs down and I'd peg it. I'd have to do it. So it got to the point where it was just a pain. I just couldn't be bothered. Sorry, it's true. I'm just lazy like that. I just could not be bothered to do it. This has been absolutely life-changing for me. Someone who has got awning anxiety, you asked Lisa about the awning anxiety with my camper. So this here, I've had it out as it sits here, true freestanding in, well, they say 30 kilometers, I think it's 30 kilometers an hour it'll do freestanding. I've had it in probably more than that, and it just stands there. Like it's rock solid. And the actual brackets on it are probably the nicest brackets I've seen. The gusseting on them and everything like that, they are solid as hell. Like look at this. You know, unfortunately, I'm 90 kilos at the moment. So it is solid as hell. It's strong, it's got a very solid frame, and it doesn't move. But then the coolest thing is what I found is, okay, so the wind's picking up a bit now. See, you can see it flapping. If you're worried, don't get your pegs out. Actually, there's a breeze coming through now, you'll hear it coming through. So don't get your wind out, don't get your pegs out. Literally pop that down. Pop that down. Actually, I'd pop it down in front of you, but I'm not going to do that. But all of a sudden, look at that. It's not going anywhere, and that's only 2 legs. And you've got a leg on here, and you've got a leg on here as well. It is just fantastic. Comparing to what we had, it is just so much more confidence inspiring. And I can tell you now, in one trip, I used it more than I used the other awning in 12 months. So it is a significant difference in confidence for me, and just, in my opinion, the feel of it, which I can't believe I'm saying that because it's half the price. It should be inferior, simple as that. The other things I love about it are the blacked out material. So it's a black awning, but even though it's black, it doesn't get particularly hot, which is very surprising. But it uses a blackout material. So it's actually called EST, which is Eclipse Shade Technology, and it literally blacks it out. So if you get the walls on this and you put them on, they've got the same technology, it becomes a black room. It is absolutely pitch black. I haven't done it, but I've seen some reviews online, and it is basically a black room. So fantastic. Other little simple things that they've done is pop this in here, and that just naturally, you don't have to use it. I only put it up if it's rainy or dewy. Basically all it does is just makes the center of the awning sit higher, so then rain will naturally fall. So yes, you can use these tie downs here and pull this down, but you don't actually have to, because that will 9 times out of 10 do it. In really, really heavy rain, maybe you might want to do it, but for 90% of the stuff, well, everything I've had so far, I haven't had to use anything but that. The other thing that I saw that was added, that was actually added from, I believe it was actually from recommendation of another YouTube review, is they've put a pocket in here. You can put cooking utensils, whatever you want. The other thing I saw what someone was doing was a really cool idea, is these lights run off USB. So USB cables here, they just had a USB power bank and just had it plugged into there. I thought that was a really cool idea. I just run it down into my fridge, but I got to be honest, I've got a heap of actual power packs at home that we don't really use. So I'm actually going to chuck them in for that exact reason, because I think that'll work really well. So talking about the lights are pretty simple. The cable is huge. It is really long, as always, because you've got to be able to, I think the theory is that you can get it into your car. I'm lucky everything's in the back here. So it's literally 3 individual lights, so you don't have to plug them all in if you don't. Just under the little caps to keep them watertight or dust proof. And then you got orange, white, and pair, and that's combination. Orange, white, and combination. And then if you go to there, you can actually hold it and it will dim, hold it again, and it will go brighter. So very simple, and you can control them individually. So for example, if you want to cook and you want to have just over the cooking, but you don't want the rest of it, you want to keep the ambience of the actual campsite, you can just have it over. If you're cooking on your tailgate, for example, you can just have that one. Also too, obviously you can, if you've got power issues or power concerns, you can just run one. You don't have to run all of them at the same time. So super easy, very, very, very effective, and extremely good at night. I've been impressed. I wasn't sure how good they are. A lot of these awning lights are not that great, but it's also, they're really nicely finished. They're actually countersunk into this bracket, so you can't actually, there's no gaps at all. The old ones used to have different clips. They've got new clips on them now, which is like these, which is really nice. And the actual hinges here are just very nice, and they're tight, but they're not ridiculous, you know what I mean? So they come down, if you let it go, it doesn't go swinging up and breaking things. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So the stitching is all really good. These are your tie down points here. So basically these are designed for if you really want to get the water down. So they're just a strap, just put in any sort of rope. These are your tie downs if you want to tie down off the legs. So very simple, very easy, very nice. You can see the stitching. Now this is, look how clean it is. And actually there's one little thread there, but I would say that's just a typical usual thing. I'll just trim that with a pair of scissors, but that's basically it. And then on the inside, so stitching, it's got the zips. So for the walls, it's not just Velcro, it's actually a zips on. So it's a lot more like a tent. So it really is nice and solid and strong. And you can see it's got all this extra reinforcing around here and any points and corners. And then there's waterproof seam sealers on it all as well. And this is what I was talking about before. This here just raises. And they've actually put an extra reinforcing piece in here to strengthen it. Obviously because there's going to be more wear there. And like I said, you can see all of the waterproofing all the way through. So I can tell you now, 100%, the speed setup of this is easily half of what, it's possibly even more than that. It's easily half of what the old Bushwhacker was. So it is significantly easier to set up. So from that point of view, that's probably another reason, like I was saying earlier, that's a big reason why I use it more. Look, this here, I'll be honest, the Plus probably would have been a really good idea, but I was trying to save weight, and it does drop a significant amount of weight off the old unit that I was using. Because I put the rooftop tent, I was trying to really keep my weights down. I'm very tight on weights. So the Plus does come all the way forward here. I know a few of my friends have actually ordered a Plus since then, so I'll be pretty keen to see them once they get them. When you actually fold this up as well, the other thing I was talking about, when you fold it up, it folds up really nicely and easily, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, I'll show you, put it this way. First thing you do, because I've had it up, pop your little leg down there that holds the extra bit of the tent up. The little rain gutter helper. Loosen it off there. Roll this around. It actually naturally falls, it actually falls in there really well. They say fold this in half, then just roll this up. Like that. Now let's pull the flaps down, the cover. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring this around here, because like I said earlier, I reckon the dust at the back has been the reason it's been getting in, because the zips have been there, because they have a little gap. Every zip does when they're together. Now this here, what I do is I fold it in half, and then I fold it up here, and all it does is it just covers the bracket as well. So it just gives the bag a bit more protection. So that's a bit different to the way I normally do it, because I normally do it from the front. So that's something to done, nice and tight. The good thing about this bag is that it's snug, but it's not too snug. Some of them are ridiculous. They're so taut, which is good, I suppose, but the problem is it makes it really, really hard to pack up. This is tight to the point where it doesn't flap, but it's not crazy tight. So I find that's a really good size compared to some other products out there. So as you can see, it's quite easy to fold up and put away. It's certainly a lot less hassle than what the other one was. Now the other thing too is the one thing I'll say is the bag is really good. It's held up really well against sticks, stones, and just general bugs, etc. It does have, like I've just done the Holland track and the wood line, everything like that, and it was dusty as hell. So it did get some dust through in here, so there was some dust ingress. Now I run my zip up the back here. I do actually wonder in hindsight now whether I should run the zip up the front here, because it's going to have a lot less dust on it here than what it will at the back, because obviously, as you know, at the back of the vehicle the dust is really pluming around. So I may try that. So but that is one thing, and I'll be honest, both of them did that, but this is definitely something that I did that. And when I fed that back to OPENROAD, they were very, very keen to hear about it. So that's what I've been really enjoying, is the fact that they're actually really keen on real world testing to actually get their product to be better. And as far as I'm aware, each model they bring out has got all these little improvements constantly. So let's just do a quick side-by-side comparison. So your Bushwhacker at the moment, I think it is about $15 or $14.99. I paid $1,600, but let's say the current price, which is I think $14.99. So $1,500. And these are normally $1,100, but they've been on sale for a little bit for $6.99. So basically $700, which I think is just outstanding value. Both the two, well actually this is the 270, the other one was a 270 plus, so that has to be considered. That is actually a little bit of extra price as well. The fabric Bushwhacker class as a heavy duty fabric. This is definitely a heavy duty fabric, plus it's also got that blackout feature as well, which I think is definitely very, very useful for most people. Wind resistance, I would personally put the Bushwhacker as adequate, whereas I would definitely say that it's rock solid and rock steady. Absolutely love how solid it is in the wind. Setup time, the Bushwhacker is significantly slower. This it's lightning fast. The lighting in the Bushwhacker it was dimmable, all of that sort of stuff. It was just fiddly and not reliable, so that was a big thing. Whereas this is It's basically, it's really it's excellent. It works individually, dims, and it's just simple. It's not overcomplicated. The biggest thing about this is, for us, when we're remote, we've got to have confidence in any product we have. So when we've got a product that's not working, or it's not been reliable, or it's fiddly to use, things like that, we just lose confidence in it, and it loses its place in our setup, basically. So that's a big reason why the Bushwhacker's gone, and why this is initially was in to see how it goes and do a bit of testing. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's staying with us. It is fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. I now understand, after all these years, of why people have awnings. I was sitting there, I had the Bushwhacker, I was so scared to use it all the time, and I was sitting there going, why do people have these things? Now I get it. I absolutely get why you have an awning with this. It's fantastic. So come on, Matt, did a $700 awning seriously hold up to a $1,500 awning? Well, in my opinion, it did. I am blown away. I genuinely expected there would be compromises and there'd be things that I'd go, yeah, but it's half the price, so I'd live with it. I've got zero complaints about this. Like I said, there's that small amount of dust ingress. I don't think that's a big issue for me. It's certainly not like it's falling down on you when you're standing underneath it, etc. But in my opinion, I've not found a negative really yet at this stage that makes it worthwhile to spend the extra money. In my opinion, compared to what I'm comparing it to, I actually think it's a better awning and it's half the price.